up, grab the fuel nozzle, and get ready to fuel up on trends and strategies to grow your travel center business in this episode of The Truck Stops Here, brought to you by Natso. Now, here are your hosts, Amy Toner and Darren Schulte.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Truck Stops Here. I'm your host, Amy Toner, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Darren Schulte. Hello, Darren.
Hi, Amy. How are you today?
I'm good. You are listening to The Truck Stops Here, Natso's podcast. Natso is the National Trade Association for Truck Stops, and our mission is to advance the success of truck stops and travel centers, and this podcast is just one of the many ways we do that. It is our pleasure to welcome Sean Register, President at Port Fuel Center. Hi, Sean.
Hello. How y'all?
So you are building a very exciting truck stop by the Port of Savannah. Why did you decide to build there?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. One day I saw a trucker, and he pulled in a cheater lane, and nature was calling. So he could have been an Olympic runner. And so as he left his truck to go use the restroom, basically I saw a police officer pull in behind him and give him a ticket for improperly parked vehicle. And my family had some land, a small piece, about 4 acres, close to the entrance of the Georgia Port Authority, which is our container terminal here in Savannah. So a light bulb went off in my head, and I said, I'm going to provide something that'll be first-class service for fuel, for something to eat, and for clean restrooms as an amenity to the drivers that utilize our port. There's currently 14,000 truck moves a day in and out of our port. We're the third largest port by volume in the United States. We're the largest port by landmass, 1,345 acres in all of North America. So with my background in the shipping business, I used to own a trucking company. I just thought this would be well worth it. And that was back in 2012. And from there, I was on my way.
So what are your plans? Tell us what you're planning for the truck stop. It opens in July, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. It'll open in July. Basically, I'm switching gears and professions, going from the operating ships and delivering cargo around the world to basically owning a truck stop. So basically, I'd started my homework. I Googled and was fortunate enough to find Natso. And from there, I eventually joined and attended Natso Connect meetings. And let me just say, I was amazed. Whether it was asking Darren or anybody else with staff, everybody was very eager to answer my questions. And you got to remember, I started from ground zero. And then the membership of Natso, I started asking them the same questions. And they were very open with me. They shared everything, down to projected profit margins, what to carry in the store and what not to carry. And it was just a great experience that I've been to a lot of gatherings or conventions in my lifetime, but none such as that, where everybody was open and welcomed my questions and gave great advice. And from that, I also acquired an additional 15 properties. So we went from 4 acres up to 18 and a half. And we're developing 16 and a half of that. We have 2 acres of wetlands in the back. But it's going to be a first-class facility. We're going to have parking for about 80 trucks. We're going to have 10 diesel lanes with DEF at every pump. We have a CNG facility that's going in on the property by Chesapeake Utilities, and they're going to operate a virtual pipeline from there, which are 7 trucks that have these tube trailers. So if there's ever a repair in the southeast of a gas line, they'll fill up one of those trailers and send it to wherever they're going to do the repair. It will tap into the gas line, and then they stop the gas flow before that so they can do the repair. That truck will keep the gas flowing to whatever city or municipality. Once the repair is made, they'll turn the gas back on and the truck disconnects, and they don't have to do any relights on stoves or anything such as that. So we have them. We have a truck repair going in called Extreme Truck Repair that'll be on site. That's a 4-bay facility, and we're looking forward to them. We're also going to be putting in a medical facility. With truck drivers now, any amenity that a company can have to keep that trucker in good shape, health-wise and whatever, we believe in that. And then now we're in final negotiations with one of the major QSRs, quick service restaurant. So everything has come together, and we are going vertical as we speak, and we're looking forward to our opening in July.
Awesome. I'm so curious if this year of COVID changed any of your initial plans.
Well, in a way, we started looking at how COVID changed with drive-up deliveries, things of that nature, people using apps more, from everything from the plexiglass shields. So we've tried to incorporate that as much as possible into our program as we're under construction. And it's something that you do have to live with, and I think we're going to be with that for quite some time. So we did adapt a lot of changes that will help with this in the long run.
What about technology? I know, Darren, you said touchless, cashierless. I know you have a lot of technology plans. Can you tell us about those, Sean?
Yes. We are going to implement that into our store. We have a scanning checkout that Darren he relayed that info, and then we looked at it, and we're going to go with it. So we're going to be, I believe, the most state-of-the-art in South Georgia. It's if you can make that customer's experience faster, better, and serve them with a smile still behind the counter, I think it's going to go a long way. One of the companies I've always admired, and my uncle, he's in the poultry business, is one of their suppliers, is Chick-fil-A. And basically, we're going to have people out at the pump, especially during the busy times, the same model that Chick-fil-A does. With that tablet, we'll take that driver's order, and he can prepay there, or the order will be placed inside. Because our trucks here, they make turns at that port. So the faster they can make a turn, the more money they're going to make on a daily basis. And the clean restrooms and the speed of service, and just that, I hate to say it, that little Southern hospitality twist we're going to add to it, we think we're going to be a winner. I've been meeting with truck drivers and companies now for the past 2 years, and they're amazed at what we're going to offer for them. And they even bring that up to us. We're going to have a little shuttle that will pick them up. We don't want them walking amongst all the other traffic. And so we have that and several other things that we're going to do and provide for them to make their stop with us a much more pleasant experience and get them back so they can earn more money.
Yeah, so Darren mentioned some technology where at the port they can see how long the line is. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, correct. We're going to have monitors. The port has about 6 different entrances. So we're going to have a live feed, and basically as he comes in, to get a soda or whatever, you use the restroom. On his way out, he'll be able to look up and see in real time the stacking at each of the gates, how many trucks, which ones are moving faster. So when he leaves, he can go directly to that gate so he can get in at the most expeditious gate there is. We're going to be the only one to have that.
I feel like that's right up your alley, Darren.
One of the great things about Sean is he's kind of references. He's what's going to make his locations so special is he's a great listener. When Sean got into this business, as he referenced, he didn't come in with any kind of preconceived notions of what he should or shouldn't do. And as he's been speaking, you can hear that. That's why this location, I think, is going to be like the apple of the eye for a lot of travel centers. I think a lot of people are going to be calling Sean and asking for permission to come down and speak with him and spend time in his location, because he's really just encapsulated a lot of what's going on with our industry, specifically around technology and speed.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was the other thing. Darren mentioned that speed of service is very important to you. Are there any specific ways that you guys are tackling that? I know you mentioned the shuttles. What else?
Well, also we've asked the port, that's yet to be decided, if we could put a turnstile on our property, which would even they get a code that they get for a pickup, and so when they go to the port gates, they basically will go to a turnstile very similar to what you check in that kiosk at an airport. So they'll put in their code number, which is for that transaction to get into the port, to either drop off or pick up a container, and to come back out with another one. So it's yet to be decided if that's going to be granted to us, but that would be a biggest game changer. So they would almost have a fast lane entrance into the port if we're able to do this.
And can you tell me more about the CNG station?
Yes, the CNG is being built by Atlanta Gas Light, and it will be operated by Chesapeake Utilities. It's going to be a state of the art. This is going to be the largest compression station for CNG on the whole East Coast, the whole Atlantic seaboard. The other one that will be of equal size is the MARTA bus system in Atlanta, because they use LNG for their buses. It's a state-of-the-art facility. It will have 4 250 horsepower electric compressors. It will have storage. And remember, they're not going to be only filling up trucks. They're going to be filling up those tube trailers that they will have on call that will operate adjacent from their CNG station on site. We're getting a lot of interest on that. Ports are now basically moving toward, greener, less emissions, and what have you. The ships had to do it January 1 of 2020. So ports around the world are looking at becoming more greener. So this is something that a lot of the warehouses around here in Savannah, we have such as IKEA, we have 7 or 8 Walmart distribution centers, Dollar General, and it goes on, Home Depot and Lowe's, and just one after another. We have 105 of them. So basically, we're working the CNG and electric. We will be putting in some electric routing. We're going to go ahead and lay the conduit. So when the electric does start, we will be ready to accept that, put the chargers in, and take care of those trucks. But we've had a lot of people come and talk to me already about how we're moving toward that greener. And our Georgia Public Service Commission, there's a commissioner named Tim Eccles. He is working with us on some grant money to go ahead and put the electric in.
Awesome. All right. Well, then I think we're going to hit you with our surprise questions. Are you ready for those? So fast, Phil.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
What is your go-to on the road snack?
Go-to on the road snack. I got to think about that. I haven't really thought about it that much.
It sounds like you don't have one. That's fine.
Well, we don't.
At least you're not stealing my Twinkies. I appreciate that. That's my.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We're we're going to be a little different. When we had our feasibility study done, it was done by Tom Stanford. He did a wonderful job. He not only talked about the speed of service, and the number one thing was the clean restrooms for our drivers, which is the same for myself and my wife and about everybody. But he got into the food, and believe it or not, there's a big push here for drivers to eat more healthy, about having fruit cups and things like that, and fresh fruit, like bananas and apples and what have you. So we're going to offer a wide array. Now, you got to remember, we're still in the South, so you're going to have that fried chicken regardless, and several things like that. But I really haven't thought about let's just say a special one yet.
Okay. All right. So let's say you're stuck at a truck stop in a snowstorm. How do you pass the time?
Well, you got to remember where I'm located. We're in Savannah, Georgia, and
I know.
it only snows once every 5 years for 1 inch, and everybody shuts down and it's gone by lunchtime.
I see. All right.
But hey, we have hurricanes sometimes. So let me just think. We're going to have a standby generator on site that will power our entire facility in the event we lose power.
Yep. Okay. Do you prefer to ride or drive?
Drive.
Drive. Okay. And how do you take your truck stop coffee?
I'm sorry?
How do you take your truck stop coffee?
I don't drink coffee. I drink hot tea.
Okay. And we're going to ask a controversial question. Is it truck stop, travel center, or travel plaza?
All of our potential clients and the people in me are calling it truck stop. We're not out on an interstate. We're about 4 miles from I-95. So I tried to call it a travel center, and they were all correcting me and saying, no, it's a truck stop. So that was their choice. I tried the travel center as much as possible.
It sounds amazing. I can't wait to come visit it. We'll have to take some pictures for the magazine. I think it just sounds very exciting. Well,
I thank you very much. And let me say this. NATSO has been a big part of this. Y'all were there when I was a sponge looking to soak up answers for questions. And your entire staff and members did not think I was crazy in asking some of the simpler questions and some of them more complex. And, recently I tell everybody, I couldn't have done this, I don't believe, without y'all's input from day one. And I can't ever thank you and your staff and the board. And it would take too long to mention everybody here. But I owe y'all a big point of gratitude and thank you.
That's very nice. We're glad that we have you on the NATSO membership. So,
thank you.
All right. Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Truck Stops Here. You can find us online at thetruckstopshere.show. You can listen to the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Stitcher. If you have any questions you'd like answered on the podcast, we hope you'll reach out to editor@natso.com. Thanks, guys.
The Truck Stops Here was brought to you by NATSO, the association representing truck stops and travel centers. Visit natso.com for more information. The Truck Stops Here is produced by NATSO in collaboration with Human Factor. Producers are Amy Toner and Darren Schulte.